For those of you guys that have been here for a quarterly meeting, Mark, what's our quarterly meeting all about? What's the point of the quarterly meeting? Mark.
Looking at what we did this last quarter, like kind of where we were at with our goals, and then maybe setting some expectations and some measurables for this next quarter.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. And Mark, you've participated in a few quarterly meetings with us now. What does the quarterly meeting do for you?
Helps me reset, kind of see what I did well and what I didn't do well this last quarter, so I can recalibrate, come up with a goal for this next quarter.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Who else? Steve, you've been here for some quarterly meetings. What does the quarterly meeting mean to you?
The biggest thing is that it helps me review what I've done and what I need to improve on and how to get to the next level.
There we go. There we go. You guys explained it very, very well, guys. That's the whole point of the quarterly meeting, guys. If you want to build something big, you want a business that thrives, you have to constantly recalibrate, reset, recheck, make sure the things that you're currently doing is still putting you in the path of where you want to go, right? Because the market and the economy and all those different things, they're constantly moving, right? So whatever worked in the beginning of the year may not be working today, right? And we've seen a lot of changes in the market. Would you guys agree? There's been a lot of changes in the economy globally, right? So we constantly want to have a pulse on where our business is at. So by you guys coming to the quarterly meeting, you are making the commitment to your business to take some time out, a couple hours, it's only 2 hours, to spend some time working on your business, right? Really masterminding, recalibrating, making those adjustments so you have mental clarity on what you have to do going forward, right? So it's a chance where we're going to dive into your specific business. And then us as a company also, we want to keep you in the loop of where we're going with the company and the initiatives that we're putting in place to keep the company moving and keep us, producing and everybody thriving, right? Is that fair, guys? Okay, so the quarterly meeting is important, guys. That's why I put in the Slack. This is the one meeting where I want you to be here in person, because some people are on Zoom, right? If you couldn't make it, that's fine. But if you can make it, do what you can to be here, because you're going to just get a lot more out of it, right? It's once a quarter. It's for 2 hours, right? But I know some people live far away and stuff, so we'll make it work. But absolutely, going forward, guys, those of you guys that are tuning in online, try to be here for this meeting, right? Do everything you can. This is the one where you wake up early, or you call in sick, or you move some things around, or you get a babysitter, whatever you got to do to be here, because you're going to get that much more value. And then all the other ones, you can jump online, right, if you need to.
And just to kind of add to it, Enrique is saying, this is something that we've been doing for many years now, and it's every quarter. And this is the way we've been able to scale our business, right? And I think what we want you guys to do is be able to model that for your individual business, right? Learn this technique of reviewing your business on a quarterly basis, analyzing what you did well, what you need to improve on, what you're going to be doing the next quarter, and then also looking at, what we call, what we'll go into the rocks that we're going to be choosing for this quarter, how we're going to grow our business. And this is something that we learned many years ago, but we're giving it back to our agents so you guys can analyze your business and use the same process. Right? Yeah. This is how you can expand and grow your business by doing that.
And just to add to that, to put it into dollars, guys, when Jason and I were early in our career building the company and the team, we hired a business coach, a coach that specializes in real estate and specializes in building real estate organizations. We were in that coaching program for 5 years, right? And this strategy is what that coach taught us how to do. We probably invested $150,000 over those 5 years of being in that program, right? Probably more than that when we count in travel and the seminars we went to and all that stuff. Yeah. Lots and lots of money, right? So you guys get to get that knowledge from us by just being part of the team, right? These business strategies.
Point, guys, we're not just winging it. This is something that we've been taught. It's been proven. And I like that, and Enrique says it's 2 hours, right? But what I look at, it's 2 hours from each one of us here. So if you look at that, that's almost like 40 hours that we are working on our business and working on what's going to happen for the next quarter.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. So take notes, guys, ask questions. If anything stands out to you, a nugget, you're like, man, I never thought of that, write it down, raise your hand, participate, because that's how you're going to get the most out of it. So we always want to start off by where we were at, right? That's usually the order. Looking back where we were at, right? Business as a company and as individuals. what we did, what we're currently doing, and where we're moving going forward, right? That's pretty much the thought process there. So we'll start off by just talking about who did well this past quarter. We'll pull up some of the top producers. We'll do an exercise called Go to the Boards, which some of you guys have done it. If you guys have been here before, that's the form you're going to fill out. And that's where you're going to kind of go over your goals. And then we'll take a break. We're going to have lunch coming. And then the last half of the meeting, or the last 20, 30 minutes, that's where we're going to talk about the company stuff that we're rolling out and stuff that is going to benefit you guys, right, by here being on the team. So let's kick it off, guys, into the Q3 producer shout outs, right? So what we have Tin do every year, Tin's our VA, and she helps us get these numbers together and track the numbers. I always want to know what happened this last quarter, right? In terms of production for each agent. Who are my top agents? And what we're counting is we're counting deals that were closed, deals that are pending, and then any like active listings or coming soon listings. So that's pretty much the whole entire pipeline, right? What you close, what you're about to close, and then anything that's coming soon that was signed or originated in Q3, right? And so the number is going to look a little bigger because some of these haven't closed yet, but this pretty much says like we all have 40 hours in a week, right? This, that we're working, most of us probably more, but in that time frame, this is what this person did and was able to generate from a GCI standpoint, right?
Can you explain GCI just really quick?
Yeah. Who knows what GCI stands for? Throw it out if you know what it stands for. Okay, you definitely want to remember this is one you're going to want to write down. GCI is gross commission income, right? Gross commission income. So if you have $1 million deal and there's 3% commission, 3% times $1 million, how much GCI is that?
30 grand.
$30,000, right? So that means you brought that deal to the table. That deal produced $30,000 in gross commission, right? And then, you get paid your split and stuff like that after, right? So we always want to look at GCI. How much money did you bring to the table on those deals, right? And that's the number that we're counting here. Because at the end of the day, guys, GCI is really what it boils down to, right? Like you can close $1 million, you can close 10 deals at 500,000, or you can close 10 deals at $1 million. Both people close 10 deals, but the ones at $1 million are going to produce a lot more income, right? And so that's where, as you grow in your business, you want to start being strategic around like your price points and what sort of deals you're going after. And what you're charging, right? You can charge more on a deal and that brings you more income. You can get more referrals from that existing client, which adds more income in the future, right? There's different strategies that we've gone over. So that's what we're looking at, guys, when we look at GCI. So I'm going to pull up top producers. So this past quarter, guys, we had some people really step it up, which is pretty freaking dope. My boy's not even on this call today. So top producers, guys, Q3, closed, pending, any active or coming soon listings, whole entire pipeline. First place for this quarter, guys, we have Asif, my boy Asif. Let's give it up for Asif. Asif's not even on the call. Take a picture and send this to him. Asif brought in a total with his closed, pending, and listings that he's working on right now, 174,000 just in Q3, right? 7 total deals that closed, pending, and stuff coming soon. So he definitely crushed it, guys. I do want to speak about Asif. I've told you guys this before. Asif has a full-time job, just FYI, right? He has a full-time job in tech. He has to travel for his job. But this guy, I don't know when he sleeps, to be honest. I don't know if he sleeps. Maybe he's like on 3 hours of sleep. But this guy is on it. Like nobody I've ever seen be on it. I don't know if that's just the way his brain works, but when I talk to him, he's just like, these are our conversations. Hey, Asif, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Yep. 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 All right, on it. Gotta go. Those are our conversations. Literally. Like, I'm not exaggerating. He just says, yep, yep, yep. Okay. Like, my man is coachable. My man is action oriented. He makes it happen. He's a hustler. There's a lot of hustlers in our room, guys, but this guy, I don't know. His work ethic is beyond. And I don't even know what he's doing in his day job. Like, I know he has a demanding day job. Like, he had to speak in front of like 200 people like a couple weeks ago overseas in Vienna, and he signed listings while he was there. He was calling me in between the seminar. But what I'm trying to get at, guys, is that we all got stuff that's on our plate, right? We all got stuff that's outside of the office. We all have lives. Some of us have jobs. Some of us have kids. Some of us have other responsibilities. But time management is really something that I think Asif has mastered. Time management. And I know he has a family and he has kids too, right? So
yeah, just to add though, yeah, one thing is he's highly coachable, takes a lot of action. But when, if I'm sitting in this room, if I'm an agent, and I'm seeing, someone that Enrique is describing right now as an agent, how does that benefit me? What should I do? What kind of action should I take if I'm an agent? What do you guys think you guys should do?
I want to be his friend.
Want to be his friend?
I want to be his friend.
That's my thought process, right? If I'm in a room and I see someone that's excelling at a level that I want to be at, the first thing is, I might reach out to them, take them out to coffee, pick their brain. How are you doing this? Right. So one thing is we're praising Asif, but I also want to put it in context is how does that benefit our team? How does that benefit our agents? Right. This gives you guys an opportunity to say, hey, Asif, can I spend 15 minutes with you? Can I see your process? Can I understand it? Right. And I know I spent some time with Asif, highly coachable. He is super busy. So, you're going to have to kind of work around his schedule. But I mean, I've talked to him at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, and we have some good conversation. So I also want to spin it back to you guys on how that benefits not just the seat, but it benefits the team. Sorry, Keith.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely, guys. So one more time for Asif, guys. Let's give it up. Second place, my boy was right there, close to first place. Let's give it up for Mark, guys. He was off by like a couple dollars to hit first place for this quarter. 7 deals total between closed pending, active coming soon. 174,000 in total GCI from all those deals that he got. Mark, I mean, you're here. What's the secret, man? What are you doing? What do you think? Because this is probably going to be one of your better quarters, right?
You've been with us for a year now, Mark. You're coming up on November, right?
What do you think has led up to you now having the success and being like busy like you are right now?
Just staying consistent. Just make sure you just keep following up with them, even if they ghost you for a while. Just keep following up because it may not have been their time when you met. I think that's how most of my deals have come across. Is I've just continued to follow up with people and stayed in contact with them, even if they aren't constantly in contact with me. And when they want to see something, they'll definitely keep in touch with you or remember that you're still reaching out to them and you're available.
Yep, absolutely, man. You're probably not going to toot your own horn, but I'll toot it for you, right? Because Mark's a laid back, conservative guy, probably doesn't want to brag on himself too much. But one thing I will tell you guys about Mark is that he is one of the most coachable people. And when I tell him to do something, or he's like one of the few that actually does it, right? I put out a message in Slack yesterday for some of you guys to post, about a review. The first person to do it was Mark. He was the first person to do it, right? A handful of you guys did it. Some people didn't respond, right? But I'm looking to see who my action takers are, right? Because if I say, hey guys, post this on IG because it's going to help you build your business, and this guy does it first and he does it quick, when I have a hot lead, who am I thinking about? Thinking about the guy who takes action, right? I'm thinking about Matt. Matt took action as well, right? There's a few of you guys that did, but I'm thinking about those things, right? So when I say Mark is coachable and he's action oriented, he's at all the trainings, he's at all the meetings. When he needs help, he reaches out. When he says, hey, do this, implement your strategy, he's making stuff happen. And of course, he has a really strong work ethic, right? He comes from, background of being a personal trainer, right? Sports, fitness, and stuff like that. So when you put all that together, boom, that's the recipe right there, right? And so I do want to give you your flowers, brother. Good job, man, this quarter. Let's keep making it happen. All right, third place. My boy, Rob. Where is Rob? Rob, with 122,000 in GCI, a total of 5 units. Rob's been kind of the silent assassin, but he's still out there, guys. Just send him a picture of that, please. Tell him he needs to jump on this call. Rob's an OG, guys. Like, if anybody knows Rob's been in the business for a long time. He knows what to do. Some of you guys may not see Rob a lot as much because he's kind of been working from home, taking care of his family. But when him and I talk, I know he's hitting the phones. He's making calls every morning. He's focusing a lot on prospecting expireds and FISBOs and stuff like that and canceled. And he's working, guys. He's chipping away. And what else? I mean, Rob has the work ethic. He has the knowledge. He has the skills. He makes it happen. What else can we say about Rob?
I think, for Rob, he's been doing it for quite some time, right?
Yeah.
Right? So he gets into his groove, his focus. And, he does have a lot on his plate as well, like, probably like most of us. But he's really intentional with his time. And right now he's got some really good momentum. And I think this is probably one of the best quarters he's had this year. So it just shows for me, like, when you really get focused and dialed in, that these type of results can happen. Right. And again, it looks different for everyone, right? Yeah, we're here in the office. That doesn't mean that you have to be a top producer physically in the office, but you have to create an environment for you to produce, right? And that's what Robert has done at his house, where, I've been to his home, he has an office, he's dialed in, he got 3 screens, and he's just going to work, right? So I want you guys to understand that it looks different for everyone, right? We don't have to be like Mark, we don't have to be like a Steve, but you have to find your way of how you're going to be a top producer. And what does that look like for you, the way you balance your life, your family, and your business?
Yeah. And it's just being productive at the end of the day, right? Some of us can work from home. Some of us get distracted from home, right? You have to be really honest with yourself. Some of us, if we wake up and we get ready and we take the drive, we show up to the office, like we're in work mode, right? And that works, right? But sometimes it's nice to work from home too, as long as you're being productive, guys. We're not here to say you have to fit in a certain box. Yeah. And you're going to be at different stages in your career. Rob's at a different stage in his career where he doesn't need to be here every day. He doesn't need to be in every training, right? He doesn't need to be in all these things. He needs to execute. Yeah. When he needs something, he definitely calls us, right? We jump on a one-on-one and stuff like that. Asif, I just texted Asif, hey, can you jump on? He said, yeah, I'm on the phone with the listing right now. I'm trying to get a listing. He said, but I'll get on in 10 minutes. Asif lives in Dublin, right? So he's not here all the time. He's at some of the meetings, but him and I talk probably 3 or 4 times a week for coaching and stuff like that. And so it can look different for everybody. All right, let's keep this moving. Patrick, let's go, Patrick. Total of 4 deals this quarter. A little under 90,000 in GCI generated from those deals. I think I know Patrick's secret. I don't know, but you want to tell us what your secret, Patrick? Buy a house. Patrick, you really stepped it up, man, this quarter, right? It seems like all of a sudden, boom, 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 you came out of nowhere with some deals. I know you bought a house. Obviously, that's that's putting the fire under you. But is there anything else that is contributing to your success right now?
Like you mentioned, constant follow-up. A lot of my clients as of right now, they're still in touch. They're just looking for the perfect property to put an offer on. A lot of you have mentioned that the H-1B visa fee thing that's going on. Even though they said that it's like a concern for them, they're actually still looking for another property. So just keep in touch, follow up with them. I mean, like Mark said, it might not be the perfect time, but it will be a perfect time eventually, and they'll reach back out to you.
Let's go. Let's give it up for that, guys. Let's go, Patrick. Great job, man, this quarter. Let's keep that momentum going. You got mortgage to pay now. All right. In 5th, top 5, guys, I got my boy Shri, who's out of the country right now, but still managed to get 3 deals in this quarter for 82,000, guys. Let's give it up for Shri. Yeah, I know Shri's out handling some family stuff, but he should be back soon, guys. Yeah, in about 2 weeks. But my boy Shri is, I mean, everybody knows Shri, guys. Shri's a hustler. Shri's on it. I don't know when he sleeps either. Personality-wise, he's just super chill guy, super easy to get along with. Follows up, brings a lot of value. Really, and also one thing about Shri, guys, when him and I talk, he invests a lot into his clients, right? He really cares about his clients. That's one thing I can say. He really tries to go above and beyond and really try to help them with every single little thing. Even sometimes I'm like, hey, Shri, you don't need to do that, bro. Like you're doing more, right? Like go focus on new clients. He's like, no, but I got to help these clients. I got to do this. They need this. They need that. Even after the sale happens, he's out there walking the property with the contractor, doing all this stuff. And he doesn't need to do that, right? But I think that just goes into how he wants to take care of his clients. And in the end, in the long run, that's going to pay off because he's going to build that reputation of like, whatever you need, go to Shri. You know, so he's still in the early stages of his journey. He's been with us for over a year now, right? And he's kicking ass, guys. So one more time for Shri. So I think we just have top 5, but then we got honorable mentions. Vikas, 2 deals this past quarter, 64,500. Let's go, Vikas. Vikas, what's the magic this past quarter?
I've done much more, which I'm looking to pick it up in the coming quarter. So yeah, I mean, just following up with clients as most of us, and eventually deals do fall in place and they happen.
Yeah, absolutely. But we also got, I want to give you props, right? Like you have all these things going on, right? And you're still able to get some deals in contract, right? Whereas some people, like they got stuff going on and then they completely take their foot off the gas or they get 0 points on the board, right? So even with all the stuff you got going on, kids going to college, all that stuff, you're still able to put up some deals and you're building that momentum. And I also see your ads on Facebook all the time that you're running. Yeah. So, I mean, good job on taking the initiative and marketing yourself and investing into some lead generation. And hopefully that's going to continue to pay off in the long run, right? So good stuff, guys. Blanca with 3 units in contract, guys, closing pending this quarter for 59,000. So one thing I want to say is when we were looking at these numbers, Jason's like, Blanca's like not number 1 this quarter. I'm like, not this quarter, but she is number 1 for the year, just FYI, right? Blanca had a tremendous first half of the year. Still got, a good amount of deals, and I know you got more stuff in the pipeline coming. So just FYI, Blanca is top producer in our whole office for the whole entire year to date when you add all the quarters up. Blanca, I know we've asked you a lot of times, but what's one piece of advice you can give to the crew here?
You guys, we just went through our training not so long ago, and it just really reinforces, keep it basic. Stay consistent, keep it basic, don't reinvent the wheel, and don't try to do too many things. Pick 2 things and just really perfect them and then move on. Yeah, pick 2 things easy that are gonna be easy for you to accomplish and manage and show up, and don't take your foot off the pedal. And then I just want to congratulate the team because I feel the momentum, everybody's coming in, doing their thing, reaching out, and right now is when it slows down a bit. Do not take your foot off the pedal. Keep in touch with those clients. Keep the momentum going. Feed off of the vibe and reach out. Everybody's always here to help out. So I just say, follow your passion. Follow your passion. Be consistent and make it happen.
Let's go, guys. Good up for that.
Like Blanca's one that's consistently here, guys. Consistently here. Staying later on the phone, doing her follow-up, doing the things she needs to do. And I love that she says, keep it really basic, right? Go into just the very basic things, but go all in on those things and really perfect them, right? And I also want to shout out Blanca because she's made a commitment to do this morning walk. So she motivates me, guys, because sometimes in the morning I don't want to train, and then so I see that I'm like, shit, she's at Cunningham Park right now,
Which is right by your house. That's right.
Down the street from my house. Like, I'm gonna get up. Great job on adding that to your routine, Blanca.
Yeah. Let's go. All right, guys, we're gonna keep just.
I got one more.
One more.
Sorry.
Let's go.
I gotta shout my boy Steve. I'm good, but go ahead, bro. Let you get to your
Yeah. All right. I want to make sure we stay on track, guys. We're going a little longer on this part, but just clap it up, guys, for everybody out there. For Brendan, let's go, Brendan. My boy Dev, couple deals. Let's clap it up for him. My boy Antonio. Amaya, let's go, Amaya. I don't know if this is accurate. Amaya got a couple deals this week that may not have been added in here yet. Okay, so he might be bumped up in his spot. Zyla also close something. So Zyla. Yeah. Okay, was it this quarter?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta double check, guys. Mai as well. Got 2 deals closed. My boy Dan still made it on the board. Chris as well. Let's give it up for Chris. John, let's go, John. I think John has one more that hasn't showed up here yet because I think it's the new build. He was waiting to get that one, all the paperwork in, but he should have 2. And those are the producers, guys, for the quarter, guys. So congrats to everybody, guys, on the quarter, Q3.
Let me shout out Steve.
Yeah.
So for Steve, Steve got 11 deals in either that closed or even pending right now. We're about 7.5 million. So great job, Steve, being the top.
So Steve is consistently, guys, on the top of our leaderboard in the loan side, right? It's pretty much battling it out with him and Jason. We got David now, who's also stepping up, and Lisa as well. But Steve, guys, I mean, you go to Steve, you need something, he's going to handle it. He's going to be there for you. He's always here in our meetings, right? He's always giving value. He's always speaking in the meetings, educating us. And he's always pushing the 2-1 buy downs, right? Buy downs, buy downs, buy downs, buy downs, right? And that's leading to the success. So one more time, guys, for Steve. Good job, brother. All right. We're going to switch gears now, guys. We are going to the go to the boards exercise. So this is where you're going to participate now, guys. You guys are going to take some time to fill out this form. I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you so you guys can see what this is all about. Let me share this tab. Yeah, everybody's in trouble. No one gets in trouble, guys. So Q4 2025, go to the boards exercise. What this is just basically a quick survey, and this is a chance for you to take some time to reflect. I'm gonna send the link right now in Slack. You'll just click it, the form will pop up, and you guys take some time writing. You'll put your email, you'll put your name. What I want you to look at is what was your year-to-date production for 2025, right? If you don't know exactly, put a ballpark in there, right? Do you know how many deals you've closed so far? Closed and pending, any actives and coming soons for the year, right? So this is your chance to like say, okay, this is where I'm at for the year. What I want to know is, are you satisfied with that goal, right? Are you on track? Are you not on track? You know, what was your goal for the last quarter? Did you hit that goal, exceed that? If you did, what was the reason you did, right? Like, I want you to give yourself some flowers, you know, like, hey, I busted my ass. I did this, I did that. Like, put that on there. If you didn't hit your goal or you're not where you are at, that happens. But this is your time when you need to take some personal accountability. I want to know why you didn't hit your goal.
This is like showing them.
Yeah, it is. You guys can see this online, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So if you didn't hit your goal yet, or if you're not on track, why haven't you hit it? And what personal accountability do you take, right? This is your chance to just have that self check-in, right? Remember, no one's going to see this except for Jason and I, because you're going to fill this form out. It's going to come to us, but we're going to be able to use this information when we sit down with you for one-on-ones, right? So the more honest you can be on where you're at, what's working or what's not working, the better that we can help coach you and put a game plan together so that you continue to grow, right? So you'll go ahead and fill that out. And then the last part is, how many new sales am I committed to in Q4? So we got another 3 months left in the year. So in that time, what is my goal? And I want to know your goal for units in contract, right? Deals in contract. We're not asking you how many are you going to close. I want you guys to focus on getting new deals in contract. Offers accepted. If you want to count listings, like, hey, I want to get at least 2 listings signed, but listings in contract, right? Because that's what's going to make the deals close. So how many deals are you committed to getting in contract for the rest of the year, for this quarter? So put that number there. And this is where you want to put a realistic number, but you should also like push yourself a little bit, right? Like, don't put like a crazy number that you think is going to be like just completely out of the ballpark. Put a number that you think, hey, if I work really hard and I push, I can hit this number. That's what I would say, right? Also, for some of you guys that just want to put like a really, really low number because you don't want to be held accountable, I don't really think you're doing yourself a favor by doing that. Like, put a number where, like, if you work hard, this is what I could shoot for, right? Some people don't like pressure for some reason, but what does pressure create, guys? diamonds, right? Pressure creates diamonds, right? So you need to learn how to thrive under pressure, right? Push yourself. What's one weekly measurable I'm willing to be held accountable to in order to hit my goal? I only want one thing. If we had to boil it down to one thing that I can measure in my business, it could be calls, it could be conversations, it could be appointments set, it could be appointments met, it could be what, like something that's going to lead to the deals, right? I would choose one of those, but just choose one that you're going to measure and hold yourself accountable to, right? If you're like, hey, I'm going to commit to 50 calls a day, 5 days a week, 250 calls a week. I'm going to commit to that. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's the one number that I'm going to commit to because I know if I hit that number, everything else will fall into place. If that works for you, use calls. If conversations works for you, right? Like, hey, I'm going to commit to talking to at least 25 people a week, solid conversations, right? Put that number. If it's appointments set or met, put that number. I need to meet with at least 3 people a week for consultations. Maybe that's the number you want to put, right? But this is the score for you, right? This is the number you're going to keep score of. And if you just stick to that number, right, the deals will start coming in. So figure out what that number is. And then the last part, right? Let's say everything starts to happen. You start hitting your numbers. You hit your goal, all those different things. I want you to think of something tangible that can happen for you in your life at the end of the quarter. If I kick ass this quarter and I hit my goal and I make that income, what's one big thing in my life that can happen for me as a result of staying on track? Make it tangible. Maybe some of you guys want to go on a vacation. Maybe some of you guys need to pay off some bills. Maybe some of you guys want to remodel your kitchen, right? Is that still on the goal? You're about to have a baby, right? Right? Maybe you want to buy a car. Maybe you want to invest. Maybe you want to do something, right? But like if I really kick ass this quarter and I hit my goal and I make some good money, what can that get for me, right? Because when you have something on the line like that that you can see in the future and it's tangible, it makes it that much easier to stick to it, and you can constantly remind yourself of that. Now, what I don't want you to put is I'll be successful, right? Because successful is like a feeling, right? Or I'll prove to myself that I could do it. That's really like theoretical, right? Like I want something tangible. Like I'm gonna buy a freaking iPhone, right? I'm gonna go on an expensive vacation, all paid. If I crush it this quarter, I'm going to Italy. I don't know, whatever that might be for you. Or I'm taking my kids here. Or I'm doing that. Put something that's tangible. Or I'm putting that money in the bank. I need this much money in the bank to save, right? John, can you mute yourself, por favor? Okay. Any questions before we start filling this form out? Everybody know the rules. Gonna find it right now. 1 second. So I'm going into Slack right now in our general channel at everyone. Okay. All right. Good stuff, John. I mean, you've been picking up some momentum lately, right? So we got to just keep pushing, keep that pedal to the metal. And I think even those listings you have, they might come in Q4, right? All that stuff you're ramping up, you're building up, might set you up for a really solid Q4 and then leading into Q1 of next year. So
And
good stuff.
I definitely recognize John's effort being in the office, making the calls, working the weekend, and making things happen. John. I think definitely you're on the right track. Just keep that momentum.
Yep. Let's go. Liz, you raised your hand.
Sounds like another office.
Mhm.
And I'm learning, so I lost a listing that was 2.5 mil. And the reason why I fell is because when I was asking the coach, they didn't guide me the right way.
Mhm.
And I cried. I literally didn't know how to act when the person was like, well, I'm not gonna wait for you. And I was on it. Like I was on it, but I felt that with the right guidance, I felt like I should have. So
Yeah.
my goal is to work with the same person because he's he's sort of like, hey, I buy houses with some
Investor, yeah.
So I'm learning
Yeah.
how to approach that.
Okay. So I think the big takeaway there is when you have an opportunity in front of you, you need to get the right guidance, right?
Okay, yeah.
whether you got to partner with somebody, right? And that's the other thing too. It's good you pointed out. Sometimes, splitting a deal with someone who's experienced, 50% is better than 0, right? And you gain that experience. So if you run into that opportunity again, and you don't feel confident enough to take it on your own, grab one of our senior agents, your more experienced agents. And do it.
So the way I lost that was because, he was working with an agent, correct?
Let's do this because we're going to be short for time. Yeah, right now, I just want you to share where you're at. We can go into that later. Yeah, because we got a time that we got to stick to. Matt, talk to me.
Yeah, so I'll keep it real. My goal as a new agent this year is 27. Right, I had this high crazy goal, and I realized quick after 6 months I was not on the right team. Okay, since joining here at PRG, I definitely feel like it's a fresh start. I definitely feel the momentum day to day, week to week, like Blockhead touched on. And I'm very excited, and I just feel energized in what you guys have going on here.
Awesome. Awesome, man. So got to keep it going, man. Is the goal still 20? Obviously, the year's coming to an end, right? So we got to recalibrate that goal. But I think that's important you pointed that out. I think what we could take from that is, here's what I would recommend is, I appreciate you for shooting that goal high. That's a high goal, right? Even for just a top producer in general, right? And then you're still new to the game, is try to get your first 5 deals or your first 3 deals first, right? And focus on that. I feel like if you take that goal, chunk it down into just, hey, let me get my first 3 under my belt, that's a lot shorter of a distance to travel, right? And then once you get to those 3, hey, let me get my next 4, let me get my next 5. And then that does something to you psychologically as well, right? Because when you set this really, really big goal and then you're not close to hitting that, for a lot of people that can bring you down or demotivate you, right? Just depends how you are, right? Or it could light a fire under your ass too, right? But I think for a lot of people, it can be demotivating. And so it's okay to chunk that goal down, right? Which is, I highly recommend you do that. Right?
And recognize right now, it's, we want deals, but right now, Matt, but I think you're in the stage of building the skill, right? You're building the skill, which we worked last week together. You're already doing your buyer presentation. You're already doing these certain things. So to me, again, yes, when you look at your goals for the quarter, you also got to look at what are your goals and what other skill, what else do you want to develop, right? So always remember that as well. Yes, we're measuring the numbers, but I think as an individual, as an agent, always recognize what other skill am I developing during this quarter.
Yeah. And I think even looking at someone like Mark, right, who was, in the top for this quarter, Mark, your first year wasn't like the greatest, right? Like, how long do you think it took you to finally like puzzle start kind of fitting together and you start making some strides? Almost that first year, right? And so it's good for Matt, for you to hear that from someone who's at the top right now, right? Hasn't been a great quarter. Is that it took him the first year to really just get his footing down and really figure out, and stuff like that. And now that momentum is now there. Now he's building, right? So it's good to have that perspective, right? So pick his brain. All right. Let's get one more, guys. One more share for Q3. Anybody online? No? Mark, talk to me.
I'll go short. I was pretty proud of my progress, but my goal was to have 6 deals in contract. I got 3, and I wanted them to be a listing, but I signed 3 listings. So I felt like I've set myself up for a really good Q4 with a few active listings or a few coming soon listings. And I gained a lot of experience on the listing side, which is also a goal for like transition of another pillar for me.
Yeah. Excellent. What a great way to look at it too, right? You may have not hit the exact number goal, but you ended up getting 3 listings, right? Which is huge. And those are the things you want to start doing to build your business, right? So sometimes the blessing doesn't always look the way we wanted it to look, but it's definitely a blessing, man. Right. And now you're on your way, so good stuff, guys. I appreciate you guys being vulnerable and sharing that. Let's move forward with a couple new commitment for Q4. How many new sales are you committed to in Q4? Actually, just throw the number out. I'm just going to point to you and you throw the number out. So Q4, this is deals in contract. What's your number? 6. Steve. 12. Brendan. 3. Lisa. 3. Luis. 2. Blanca. 6. 10. All right. 1. Liz, I'm sorry. 3. 4. 3. 5. Let's go. All right, those of you guys at home, unmute yourself. Chris, what's your number?
I'm shooting for 4.
4. Nicho.
3 here.
3. David, what's your number?
7. 7. 7.
7. Let's go. Nisha, what's your number?
3.
3. Let's go, guys. If you guys all hit that number, we are going to have the best record-breaking Q4 that we've ever had. Just FYI. All right? FYI. Those are some strong numbers. And the thing is, those numbers are all doable.
Yeah.
Really doable. Everyone's on a different journey, right? Some people are newer, some people are more experienced, some people are just starting to ramp up. But I didn't hear any number. Maybe Mary's was pretty high, but Mary, if you really I'm just playing, I'm teasing you. If everybody just buckles down, those numbers are all doable, right? Even Mary's number of 10, that's a doable number. In 3 months, that's 3 to 4 deals each month, right?
Every time I pick up the phone, the first call, nobody answers. And the second call, I don't know why, but I'm being so blessed with God and everything. And they answer. I'm not talking to them. Yesterday, I had an appointment with them. And they're going to continue moving forward. Now, imagine if I start making like 25 phone calls that I'm going to be making every day, and at least 1 or 3 of them, they're willing to talk to me, and I'm able to assist them with all their real estate needs and home
Yep.
search.
We'll be good. We'll be good. Okay. Yes.
We should be focusing on 1 or 2 things. Can you just explain it to me, like what exactly, beyond the calls, what exactly should we focus on?
That's a great question. So Shital's question was, when we say we should only be focusing on 1 or 2 things, can we expand on that? What do we mean by that? Blanca, you want to expand on that? Because you're the one who brought that up.
How many appointments? How many calls? Do you have a clear number for your calls that in turn is gonna lead to your appointments? Those go hand in hand. Maybe it's a personal goal. Being consistent on your follow-ups. Maybe you're lacking on your follow-ups. It can also be a physical goal, something that you know is gonna move the needle the right direction.
Yeah.
And really just piecing it down.
Yeah.
Like they're asking for the quarter goal, piece it down to the monthly goal, to the weekly and daily, right? Because did you meet your goal for the day? That's how it starts. Did I accomplish my goal for today? No. Next day, catching up or doubling down, and then your week, and then your monthly.
And so one thing, guys, that I would recommend in terms of business is pick 1 activity goal and 1 skill building goal, right? Because those are the 2 things that move the needle forward. Activities and skills. So for example, Shital, since you're newer, you could say, my goal is to make X amount of calls every single day times this many days. So my weekly goal is this, right? Let's say it's 25 calls a day, 4 days a week, 100 calls a week. That's absolutely. Doesn't matter if I'm sick, if I'm traveling, if I don't feel good, anything. If it's raining, 100 calls a week is my number. And I'm sticking to that. That's a great way to stick to 1 thing, right? That's an activity goal. And then a skill goal could be like, I need to master the buyer presentation, right? I'm going to practice that thing every single day. I'm going to role play it. I'm going to record myself. I'm going to do it with somebody else. I'm going to do it in front of Jason. I'm going to come up here and do it in front of everybody until I master that thing. So if you just pick those 2, right, you're going to make strides in your business. But the mistake a lot of people do is like, I'm going to make 100 calls. I'm going to post on social media 72 times. I'm going to do the buyer presentation and the listing presentation and the contract and this. And then next thing you know, you have like 20 different things you're trying to do, and you become a master of none, right? And you're all over the place.
And lift 100 pounds when you haven't been in the gym in like a year? No, you go there, you lift 10 pounds, you get it going right away, little by little.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. So I'm all for being ambitious, but if your ambition is getting in the way of your productivity, then you're not really serving yourself, right? And so start small, guys, and then build off of that. Because what you'll realize, if you just commit to 100 calls a week, or maybe break it down to the day, I'm going to commit to 20 calls a day. what happens is your level of standard starts to raise, right? The bar starts to raise. And then you, right now, you're a 0 call a day person, let's say. And then you set a goal of 20 calls a day. Every time you do 20 calls a day, what are you proving to yourself?
Accomplish your goal.
That you can accomplish a goal, right? But if the goal is like 100 calls a day and you keep coming up short and keep coming up short, you are further telling yourself that you can't do it, right? But it's a lot easier to say, hey, 20, and prove to yourself over and over that I can hit 20 calls. And then from there, once you kind of establish that baseline, now 20 is like, I do 20 in my sleep, right? And then now I want to push it for the next month. Now I'm going 30 calls a day, 30 calls a day. And I'm going to just do that for a month. And then next thing you know, you're doing 50 calls a day, and that's like nothing. That's your new level. That's a new minimum standard, right?
It takes a lot of discipline to put that in play, right? Because a lot of times we get distracted, what we call it the shiny object. We want to do all these different things because we think that, no, those hard things, those basic things over and over again is what's going to move your business.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's a mindset where it's like, yeah, I don't know everything, but I'm just going to chunk away at it. I'm going to learn how to do my calls. I'm going to learn my buyer presentation. Is it boring? Yes, but boring is part of our business, guys. Doing that, maintaining that process over and over again is what's going to move you to do, right? And the next step is now I need to learn how to show a property. Now I'm going to do that 100 times and be an expert at it. Right now you have those skills. No one can take those away from you. I know how to talk to people over the phone. I know how to do a buyer presentation. And I know to show homes like a pro. Once you develop that 100 times, now that skill belongs to you, right?
Yeah.
You try to just dabble and, oh, that looks fun, that looks cool. No, you got to really be disciplined and consistent with whatever your two things are.
Yep. Complexity, guys, is the killer of productivity. If something is too complex, there is a highly likelihood that you will not do that, right? And everything in life, business, fitness, all that stuff. The more simple, you'll see, like when you talk to really high producers, they keep their shit really simple. Hey, I got 3 things I got to accomplish every single day. If I just accomplish those 3 things, I'm on track to make X amount of dollars, right? Keep it so simple that you can explain it to a 3rd grader. If a 3rd grader says, what do you do? I talk to 20 people a day and I study this buyer presentation every day. That's what I do. If I just do that every day, then I'm going to get really good. Oh, okay, that's easy to understand. But if you can't explain it to a 3rd grader, your program is so complex that you got to do all these things and throw a pigeon and smoke signal and, you know, on a rainy Tuesday, on a full moon and all these different things. Like, you're not going to make it happen, guys, right? So that's why you'll notice with us, and this is something we've learned too, like we simplify. There's that saying, simplify to multiply, right? We're going to keep simplifying things, right? And that's why we laid out like the agent standards, where it's just like calls, right? Appointments, deals. That's just really what it boils. I don't care how you do it, just hit that number, right? All right. Let's see what else we got. What is one weekly measurable you are willing to be held accountable to in order to hit your goal? So now we're talking about the one thing, right? What's your measurable? I'm going to go around the room and just point at you. Just tell me your measurable. 100 phone calls when? Per day, per week? 100 phone calls a week. That's a great place to start. 5 appointments a week. Is that set or met? So meet 5 people per week. Okay. Steve, you have a measurable?
Follow up and make sure I post every follow up in Follow Up Boss.
Okay.
So
how would I measure? How do I know if you did it or not?
because I have to make sure I put it in Follow Up Boss.
Okay.
Add it as a note on every client that needs to be followed up.
How many notes per week, per day?
It has to be. So if
Someone help Steve out. Someone help Steve out.
tangible number.
I'll come back to
10 per
you.
day.
Think about it, right? Because if it's not tangible, then like, let's say you have the report and I say, Steve, did you hit your number or not? And you're like, well, I felt like I did it. I did a lot. I did un chingo, right? Like, I don't know. But that means I did a fuckload in Spanish, right?
A tangible number would be 5 follow-ups.
There you go. That's what I'm looking for, right? Because if you do 5 follow-ups, it's a realistic number. If you just do that, 5 days a week, that's 25 follow-ups. Your business will move, right? And guys, and Steve is a top producer, right? But even this goes to show sometimes we need help from an outside vision to simplify what we got, right?
But then we try doing too much.
You try doing too much and then you don't end up doing it, right? Exactly, right? Brendan, 4 appointments met a week. Luis,
25 conversations a week that are the students.
25 conversations a week. Great.
I did 100 calls a week and 4 appointments.
100 calls and 4 appointments. 25 calls a day, week? No, Mary. 25 calls per day. How many days? 7 days a week? So then what's the total number? So what's the total number per week? Okay, think about that. I'm gonna come back to you, right? Shatal, how many? 15 conversations per week. That's right. I don't care if it all happens in one day, if it happens in 7 days and 3 days. That doesn't matter, right? The whole amount is you hit 15 per week. We could see that and track that, right? Liz,
So 16 a week. And then
pick one only one. 60 calls a week, okay? Okay, so 60 a week, 12 a day, right? As long as you hit 60, you pass go, you get $200. Patrick. 10 calls a day, how many days? What's your weekly number? I'd rather you have a weekly number. 70 calls a week, okay? Because some you guys might, I mean, maybe you're not working on Sunday or making calls on Sunday, right? Maybe you're only counting 5 working days, right? So think about that stuff as well when you're doing your numbers. Vikas, 3 appointments a week, love it. Maggie, 100 calls a week, 3 open houses a month, great. Mike.
1 hello day show per week.
1 hello day. He's helping us recruit guys and get people to show up to our orientation. So 1 show up every week. John, 4 appointments a week, met or set? 4 appointments met. I meet 4 new clients. That's great. Chris, I'm coming to you guys online. What's your number? What's your weekly measurable?
125 calls a week.
125. Nicho, what's yours?
100 calls a week.
100 calls a week. David, what's yours?
100, and that's a chingo.
100 calls a week. Nisha, what's yours?
75 a week.
75 a week. Jose, what's your number?
100.
100 calls a week. Ariocha, you're playing too. What's your measurable per week? What's one thing you can measure every week that moves your business forward?
I talk to at least 10 agents a week and do trainings.
How many trainings?
I do 10 trainings a week.
Oh shit, 10 trainings a week. All right, 10, talk to 10 agents, do 10 trainings. All right, there you go. What did you guys just discover right now by us doing this? A lot of potential, but what about this exercise, right? In particular, what do you guys, what do we realize with this exercise here?
We get a sense of achievement once we do that.
Yeah, we're giving ourselves an achievable goal, right? Anybody ever heard of SMART goals? The acronym SMART. What do I say? What's the first one? What's S for? Specific, measurable, actionable. Someone look it up. I forgot. Realistic and time bound. There you go. Where all those go, SMART goals, right? Specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time bound. The time is per week, right? Specific, it's whatever you're calling or whatever. Actionable, you have to take an action. That's what SMART stands for. So anytime you set a goal, it needs to be a SMART goal. Specific, measurable, actionable. What's R? Realistic, right? And time bound. Make sure your goals fit that filter there, because that's going to allow you set yourself up for success, right? If you're not specific, like, oh, I'm going to work hard. What the hell does that mean, right? Like, I work hard every day, right? But am I getting results, right? So I want to lose 5 pounds, right? I want to lose 5 pounds in 1 month. That's really specific, time bound. And I'm going to do that by working out 3 days a week and, eating X amount of calories. I mean, when you set your plan up like that, then you just got relevant or realistic, right, to what you're trying to do. But when you set up a goal like that, you are setting yourself up for success, right? So I want to teach you guys how to think smart with these goals. And so whatever that number is, here's what I know is that everyone just threw out a number. But if you didn't write that thing down, if you didn't put that thing somewhere, if it's not on your wallpaper now or your screensaver or somewhere that you're going to constantly see it, by next week, you are already have forgotten about that goal. By even like 2 days from now, you probably forgot. What was that? I think I said 4. Did I say 3? Did I said 70 calls? Right? So I need you guys now to put that somewhere, right? Where should you put it that's going to ensure you will not forget? In your Google Calendar. How many people get a lot of notifications in Google Calendar and you just go, oh, swipe, what? How many people do that? That happens to me sometimes. I'm added on shit and I'm like, right? Okay. You know what I think you should do? I think you should do it in multiple places, right? I think you should put a screensaver, right, on your laptop. Everyone's on their laptop daily, and I think you should put that same screensaver on your phone. And I think you should also write that on a sticky note and put that on your bathroom mirror, right? Your sun visor, somewhere that you look at in multiple places. I think you should put that on your desk, right? At the mirror, right? Like when I have goals that I really, really want to hit, it's on my mirror because I go brush my teeth. I'm looking at that shit every day, right? Sometimes I move it to the side to comb my hair and put it back, right? But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that nothing we're doing here is rocket science. It's a matter of consistency and sticking to what we said we are going to do. So let's play the game, right? Let's set up the game in a way that's going to allow us to be more productive, right? Let's put that on a paper. So what we're going to do going forward maybe is maybe we can have like stuff printed out in a little stand and we'll put everyone's number, everyone's name and their goal, and we'll put that all over the office too, right? We'll put that in the bathroom. You think that would help? Psychologically, would that help? You're in the bathroom and you're all looking.
I think, you know what I like, what I really like about this exercise, guys, is that, you know, you guys got to choose what it is, right? You guys get to choose what that one thing is, what that one measurable, what that one goal is. And I think it's important that you get to choose it because then you get to own it.
Yep.
You really get to own it and say, hey, this is what I want to do to grow my business or to grow my skills, right? So I think it's important that's why, again, we talked about it earlier, that everyone's business may look a little different, right? But we're going to be doing the same concepts, right? Being disciplined, being consistent, and choosing one or two things and going all deep, or going deep into it, right? And that's even when we go into our next exercise, you know, that's something me and Enrique will be doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Last question, then we're going to take a little lunch break. What's one big thing in my life, right? We need to attach it to something. What's one big thing in my life that will happen for me this year as a result of staying on track with my goal? Make it tangible, right? What's at the end of the rainbow? If I do this and I stick to it and I hit my numbers by the end of the year, this is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for me, right? I'm going to go around the room and point to you. I just want you to share. Student loan. You're going to make a dent in the student loan. Remodel my kitchen. All right. Steve.
Get caught up with my IRS taxes.
Pay the damn IRS. I hate that guy. It's Brendan. Remodel. Pay for some remodel stuff at the house. Luis. Ooh, I want to propose. All right. Let's go. All right. All right. Maybe make sure my lady's not on here listening, bro. Blanca. Awesome. Awesome. Blanca. Family vacation. Let's go. Mary. You want to buy a townhouse, so put a down payment towards a townhouse? Okay. Buy a townhouse, right? Okay. Shita. 10K savings. That sounds nice. Liz. Family vacation for Christmas. Patrick. Taxes. Hey, that tax guy keeps following us. Vikas. Okay, so you want to refill the savings account. All right. Magali. Pay off a credit card. All right. Vacation. John. Remodel. All right. Remodel's one. Online, Chris, what's your one thing?
Buy a Cybertruck.
Buy a Cybertruck. All right. Nicho.
Remodel my garage and backyard.
There we go. The remodel. David.
Semi-retire or retire the wife.
All right. Hey, that's nice. Semi-retire the wife. Okay. Nisha.
Buy a house.
Buy a house. Let's go. Jose.
Pay some debt and maybe World Cup tickets.
World Cup tickets. All right. And pay some debt. Let's go. Ariocha. What's the big prize at the end of the year?
Have a business that's running itself.
Have a business that's running itself. All right. Guys, we all got stuff that we're chasing. That's the power of us sharing this all in person, right? Because now we get to know a little bit more about each other. A lot of you guys have talked about personal stuff. You guys have talked about your goals, your aspirations, the number that's going to take to get there. This is why we do this quarterly meeting. This is why we do these declarations out in public, because now we can root for you and cheer you on and get behind you on your goals, right? You know, if we don't see you, or if you're here in the office, now I know, like, hey, Matt, how many calls this week, right? We're gonna have that written down. Hey, 100 calls this week, or whatever his number was, right? Stuff like that. We get to check in on you and push you towards your goals, right? This is why we want to do this, right? It's one thing to just write your goals and just keep it to yourself, and no one knows, but no one knows if you're actually hitting it either. And no one knows if you just forgot about it, right? So this is why you come to this environment, and this is why we do this exercise, to help push you, right? Any questions? Was this valuable for you guys right here? Okay. So make sure we're writing this down. Make sure we're putting this somewhere. With your guys' permission, if we have your permission, we'll put this on a sheet and I will display it here in the office if you guys are okay with that. I think it'll be a fun game, right? Because we can call on it and we could talk about it, right? And we create this environment where we're all pushing each other for some healthy accountability. You guys okay with that? Is anybody not okay with that? I don't think anybody got like too crazy personal on this, right? All right, cool. All right, we'll work on that. I think that'll be a fun project. We're gonna take a quick break, so it's quick. Raise your hand if you have questions. But we want to talk about pretty much the state of the company and what we're going to be focusing on as a company for Q4. And so we always want to start off with the production, where we're at so far for the year. 74 closed units for the year, 9 pending units right now, 78 million in closed, average price point just above $1 million. Pending about 9 deals, 5.9 million. We have 5 listings that are active for about 3.5 million and 8 that are coming soon for about 8.6 million. Out of the 74 deals closed so far, 26% were sellers, 74% were buyers. So we're about 75-25 buyer to seller, which is definitely an improvement from where we were at before. I think in the last quarter, we were closer to like a 80-20. Now we've been bringing on a lot more listings, which was the goal, to slowly start to bring more listings. Because we have a lot of buyer lead generation, I think we're always going to be buyer heavy. But if we can get to a point where maybe we're like a 70-30 or like a 65-45, that I think that'll be definitely a good, healthy spot to be in. There's pros and cons, guys, as you guys see, to having listings right now, right? Like a lot of people in our industry say listings is the game, but what I think is closing deals is the game, right? So sometimes they say listings is the game. You know, a lot of it can be ego or like, I want to be the listing agent, right? That's great to be a listing agent, but I just want to see you close deals, right? Even some of the best listing agents out there close a lot of buyer business. They just may not promote a lot of that business online, right? A lot of people are promoting. If you think about it, if you have a listing, you're usually trying to promote your listing, right?
A good listing agent has a buyer agent.
Yeah, exactly. Good listing agent has a buyer agent. That's a good point you bring up. Yeah, they have a buyer agent. They do buyer deals. They just have someone on their team that handles it, right? And so, and then you also want to move with the market, right? If something is hitting more at a certain time, it's good to pivot to that direction, right? Some of our listings that we've had, because of the market's been changing, they've sat on the market for a little bit, right? And so those are all the challenges. Those are all the things that we're looking out for. But if
it's important now that we are getting listings, is to maximize that opportunity, right? Make sure that you guys are maximizing that marketing so that we can start building that pillar from 18% to 30%, right? Now that we have this opportunity, we can afford that, we can market correctly.
Yep, absolutely. So total pipeline, guys, when we add everything up, we're just shy of 100 million, 96 units, 96.1 million. If we add up closed, pending, active, and coming soon. So, I mean, that's definitely a good spot to be in, but work's not done. Like, we want to definitely finish this quarter strong, and we'll go into, what we plan for this quarter in a minute. Looking back at some of our previous years, I always like to, share this with you guys. In 2017, when we really started tracking, we did 34 million in sales for the year, right? Then it went up to 47, 59, 54, 179. Right after COVID, that's when everything shot up, right? 206 was our peak in 2022. Market's definitely changed since then. 119 million in 23, 97 million in 24. And I think this year we can definitely break 100 million just by the pace that we're going now. So we'll see what happens, guys. We're definitely going to push. Total reviews. This is something we track all the time. 555 reviews on Zillow, 197 reviews on Google. Our goal is to try to get to 600. That's the next goal that we have for Zillow, and try to get to 300 on Google. Now, I did ask a lot of you guys to post something yesterday. So I want to see, yesterday we had 197. I want to see if any new reviews came in as of yesterday from us posting that.
And remember, guys, while Enrique's pulling up, remember that how the reviews benefits you, right? When you go out on the listing appointment, when you're meeting with a buyer, you get to leverage this information that my team and I, we have over 550 or 600 5-star reviews. So I know Enrique having us post that out there, but remember how it benefits you and how, when you're on that interview, how you can kind of give that to your potential client.
Absolutely. So we're at 205. So we got 7 new reviews from yesterday, and only a handful of people posted that. I'm going to ask those of you guys that didn't post it yet to post that at the end of our session today. To just go further into that, the reason we want to start building up these Google reviews is because that's where a lot of organic traffic comes in, right? So if someone says like real estate agent in San Jose or any of the cities that we serve, if we're at the top and we have a lot of reviews, we're going to appear. People are going to message us there or visit our website. Those leads come in. We're not paying Zillow, Redfin, any other lead source on that, right? So those are more organic leads that are coming in from our marketing, our traffic. We don't have to pay a referral fee. So it benefits you guys to help us build the reviews as a team, because also when you go on appointments, that makes you stronger as well, right? If we have 555 and 205, what's that number? 760. So you can now talk to people and say, hey guys, we have 765-star reviews online, right? How many teams out there can say they have 765-star reviews online? Very, very few, right? Even agents that close a lot of deals, a lot of them don't focus on getting reviews online, right? Like maybe they've sold a lot of houses, but you look at the reviews and they don't have any reviews, right? How many of you guys check reviews before you guys make a purchase? Raise your hand, right? Before you go to a restaurant, before you buy something online, on Amazon, on any other website, right?
Than ever because of all the online presence.
Exactly, right? So if you're not actively trying to get reviews, guys, you are selling yourself short. And remember, just because it's the team account doesn't mean you can't get a review. They're going to mention your name. Now you can market that review. You can take a screenshot of that, put it into your marketing, post that on your social media. Hey, I'm really grateful for this review that came in from one of my clients that I helped, right? And so you can use those reviews. We just have a place where you can collect them all, right? And together as a team, it's a bigger presence, right? So that's the strategy behind that. That's why I'm pushing reviews. It's not an instant result. It's the long-term game, right? Consistency. Any questions, guys, so far on the existing pipeline, production, stuff like that, year to date? Okay. Where is our business coming from? I love looking at this one each year. Let me start. Let me come back to this tab. Thank you for reminding me. Where is our business coming from? Let me see. Okay. This is important to look at, guys, because sometimes we just close deals and a lot of times we don't take the time to look at where the business is coming from. But when you know where your business is coming from, focus your efforts at, right? So out of all the deals that we just went over, agent generated deals, meaning you guys went out there, networked, got a referral, posted on social media, whatever you did to get that client to come in, 44 closed and pending, 7 that are active and coming soon, a total of 51 deals. So out of the 96 that we talked about in our pipeline right now, 51 of those came from agent generated efforts. Zillow, 32 deals came from Zillow. 2 deals came from our ISAs that we have that we're booking listing opportunities. 1 came from an agent referral, agent to agent referral from like an outside agent. 1 from HomeLight, 3 from open houses, which I consider these agent generated as well. 5 deals from YLOPO so far. 1 deal from Redfin, right? So if we add those totals up and look at the percentage wise, 57% of our deals came from agent generated activities. Either you went out there, worked an open house, you posted on social media, you got a referral, friend, family, anything like that. 57% came from agent generated, which is great, right? That's really good. 43% came from team generated or team provided opportunities, which is also really good, right? Because that means the team is giving you guys opportunity. Out of all the deals, 33% came from Zillow, right? So Zillow is also a big player with us. I like that this Zillow number is going down purposely, right? Because we probably want to get it down to maybe like 25% or so. The reason why is we don't want to have all our eggs in one basket. Because as the market changes, as things come up, if Zillow all of a sudden says like, hey, we want a 50% referral fee and all our business is coming from Zillow, we're going to be forced to freaking take that, right? We're going to be scrambling, right? So Zillow is just a pillar that fits into the big wheel or the big pie, so to say, right? And so I like where we're at in terms of where the leads are coming from. Now, based off those numbers that you guys are seeing, where should your efforts be focused on? SOI deals, right? Which includes what? Open houses. What else? Friends and family, social media, referrals, door knocking, going out there and just generating your own leads, right? Stuff like that. Past clients, our events, right? We have events, inviting people to the events, making sure you're there, participating and stuff like that. If we know 57% of our business is coming from that source, that means it's really working. But then the question we got to ask ourselves, am I really working it, right? I know that those are the numbers as a company, but then individually in my own business, is it 57% of my deals coming from, agent generated? Or is it like all my business is coming from Zillow and I'm not doing any marketing on my own? That's not a good place to be in, right? You want to diversify your portfolio. And so just like we preach, guys, of the 3 pillars of our success is online leads or leads provided by the team, open houses, and working your SOI through social media, through networking, through staying in touch, through events, through all that stuff, right? And the data supports that, right? So when we're preaching working open house, and you're not working open houses, well, you're not following the plan that is working, right? We're not here to reinvent the wheel. We're here to follow what works. We've showed you agents who are doing it, who are succeeding. We've showed you the data of where the business is coming from. We've showed you all the different lead sources. It's laid out, guys. You just got to follow the plan, right? So don't get cute. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to get fancy. Don't try to get complex. I'm going to do it my own way and all that stuff. That just makes it harder for you, to be honest, on our team, right? Because if we have a system that works, that's been proven, time tested, right, for a long time, you're going to have a lot more success just following the plan.
Yes, success
Quicker, right? Doesn't mean you can't go out there and just get leads on your own. That doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is we have a plan that works, right? So would you rather like trial and error and try to figure something out on your own, or would you rather just follow a roadmap that has already been proven and time tested and the results show, right? Those are the things, right? Okay. Questions? Any questions so far, guys, on any of this stuff? All right. You guys are easy. Who had a question? Let me see.
Question. Yeah. It's in there as a team lead.
We got one deal so far from Redfin.
I think we have another one that's coming in.
Another one?
Steve got one. I don't know if that's.
I don't know if that counts his or not. But we got one deal so far from Redfin. I know we had another one in contract that fell through. So we got two deals technically so far. One fell through and one is pending. And I don't know if there's another one as well.
Odd question. I'm wondering, of the Zillow deals that came through, how many of those Zillow deals created a Spirit influence deal?
That's a great question. We don't have that number tracked, to be honest, but it's definitely, there is a significant percentage.
Okay, I'm thinking the 33%, you put the 33% into the Spirit influence, and I think so.
The 33% is just of the total deals that came directly from Zillow. So that's only counting Zillow. So 32 deals closed and pending and active and coming soon is 33% of all of that.
Okay, I don't know.
But no, it's a good question, Michael. It's a good question because what's happening is that Zillow number is probably even higher because what happens is they give us referrals, right? But those referrals for our agents are called SOI deals.
Yeah.
Those are your generated deals.
But Blanca, you've gotten a ton of referrals from Zillow clients, and then they referred you other business, which is being counted here as agent generated, right? But that may be something, if we go back further and track, well, where did the original source come from, right? Like, hey, this Zillow client referred me two more, then we know, like, hey, the Zillow is helping you create your database, which we know it is for sure.
That's definitely where it could.
Yeah, it definitely is. I have probably a good 5 clients that have referred a SOI, and one particular client referred 2 SOIs.
Wow, okay.
So 5, 6, 7, at least 10 SOI deals from Zillow.
From a original Zillow client that referred other clients, right? Yes, some?
That's why it's important to take Zillow leads to build that pipeline. So just keep that in mind, guys. I mean, the reason why you're doing the Zillow leads is because you don't have business right now. That's how you create business.
Yeah.
And that's how you create your database. Because the better you do with that Zillow lead, the more business is going to come from it.
Exactly. Right. And then you get to a point where you've been in the business so long, one day you're like, hey, I got so many referrals coming in, I don't need Zillow, right? Or like Blanca, I want to be paused right now because I'm super busy with the ones I have. But then when I slow down, turn me back on, right? And that's the benefit of being on our team, is that you can turn them off and on, right? Whereas if you were the one paying for all your leads and stuff like that, you're committed because you're out of pocket, if you're doing your own marketing, right?
One of our biggest deals from for a sale was from Zillow.
Yeah.
It was like a same protocol that we're all using, going out and meeting the client, doing the buyer presentation, signing the buyer broker agreement, the system that we're following.
Yeah.
And not deviating from the system because it works.
Asif, guys, who was our number one this quarter, 3 listings signed, all from Zillow. 1 deal from Redfin. Another buyer from Zillow. I think out of all his deals, like maybe 2 of them were SOI and 5 of them were Zillow. Right? I mean, guys, it's there, right? And then you get those listings and you market to that neighborhood. You get buyers coming in the open house. You get the neighbor across the street, right? Like, if you're not playing the Zillow game or the online lead or the team generated game, like, you're definitely selling yourself short, right? Unless you got an abundance of leads and you're extremely busy, that's the only time I would say, okay, don't take any of the leads that we're giving you.
Yeah.
But if you're not and you're still building, like, take as many leads as you can get while still working open houses, while still promoting yourself. And so now you have a strategy, right?
You're running a parallel, right? You're running your SOI business parallel with, doing your open houses, doing your online marketing, your social media, and then you're receiving the reps from that incoming call from Zillow, right? You receive that call. Now you're actually going out there, showing property, doing the buyer presentation. So you're building your brand, building your SOI while you're getting the actual execution done by absorbing these team opportunities.
And here's the reason why, guys, because when I pull up these numbers, right, stuff like this, does that say anywhere on there, Zillow, SOI, how he got the deal, anything like that? It doesn't. At the end of the year, when you get your 1099 and this is how much you made, it does not say asterisk, all your leads came from Zillow. You didn't market yourself, right? It doesn't say any of that. All it says is this is how much you made, right? And so play the game smart, guys, is what I recommend, right? Work all the angles, right? So that you have an abundance. So you're always busy, right? You're always sharp. You're always busy. You're always in the know. Yes, does Zillow take a fee? Yes. Are you getting a little bit lower of a split on your team deals? Yeah, but you also, your phone rings and someone wants to see a house right now. Like you're paying, right? It's convenience.
And Zillow provides us, obviously the lead, but it also gives us the training, the accountability, the Zillow toolbox. I mean, there's tons of, benefits from partnering with someone like Zillow, right? Even when we speak to clients, we tell them that we're partners with Zillow, and Zillow wants us to leverage that relationship, not just with our Zillow client, but with all clients.
Yeah. So I want you guys to remember this term, lifetime value, right? What is the lifetime value of taking on Zillow leads or team leads, right? Not what's the value of just that deal. Oh yeah, that deal pays Zillow lower split. Okay, maybe that value is a little bit less than your SOI, but what's the lifetime value? When your clients that came from Zillow keep showing up to our client events every year and bringing more people with them, right? And now you're getting referrals, right? So the lifetime value, when you start to add that up, is way more than one SOI deal, right? Long-term game. Yeah.
Not just that, you're sharpening your skills.
Yeah, exactly. You're that much better. That many more reviews online, more at bats, more battles, right? All right, we drove the point home.
How much time I can spend on my sphere of influence versus Zillow? I can obviously go ask you guys based on the percentage here, right?
Yeah, definitely. You have a question?
Zillow calling you is just money calling. I don't know how many other businesses out there that money literally calls you. My parents were in the insurance business for a really long time, and they were just on the phone all the time trying to drive and get clients constantly and driving all over the place, all over Oregon and Washington. And I told them that Zillow Flex calls were calling me, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're getting calls to their phone to go show houses. So
You just never know.
Yeah.
It's me and Enrique, we come from M Block, and we come from the old school way where we really had a dial, right? From a real phone, not from a cell phone.
A real phone. Yeah.
Nah, come on, Mark.
Not that. Old phone. Rotary. That's funny, man. All right, let's go. Alliance Lending. Jason, break it down for me on Alliance.
So our team, myself, David, Lisa, and Steve, we have 45 units closed for a little under 30 million. We currently have about nine deals pending for 6 million. Average price or average loan amount is about 150,000. You can see on the left side, we have where the lead source is very similar to when we're breaking down the real estate side. We have, the SOI, which is the loan officer generated. We have of the 45, 20 deals were generated from the loan officer. 6 of them came from our Zillow lending. And then another 12 came from our flex partner with Zillow. Okay. And then 7 came from other real estate agents. Some of our real estate is actually from this office here. Our top producer is Steve with 21 deals closed, and he currently has 3 pending right now. I have 16 deals closed, 3 pending. We have Lisa, who's back with us right now. She has 2 deals closed, 2 pending, and we have David that just joined us with 6 deals closed and 1 pending. Enrique did a great job of breaking down our business as well. So we have 44% of the closed deals came from agent generated activities, right? So you can see that the SOI came, those 40% of those deals came from the actual loan officer. 56% came from the team leads, the leads that we provide the loan officer. The loan officer. So again, you can see it's very similar to the real estate side. What really stands out to me is that, on our lending side, we do leverage our partnership with our real estate agents, right? We really kind of want to make sure that we're a team and we support you guys. And you can see that by when, Steve's available, David's available, I'm available. And I want you guys to leverage that, not only just with your buyers, but also with your listing appointments. Right. Remember that we're partners with you guys and that we can support you guys, whether it's a listing or a buyer. I know Steve and Blanca have, and I believe Patrick, they did a buy to sell or sell to buy. And so just remember that we can assist with those numbers as well. This quarter, we're definitely going to be doing some training with you guys on the basics of the loan, what we think a real estate agent should know about the loan side and the loan process. So we'll be doing that, through Google Meets. But again, just leverage us. We're in-house partners with you guys.
Absolutely. Let's give it up for the loan team, guys. Let's give it up for Steve, guys, one more time. Crushing it this year. Let's go, brother.
Right on,
Good stuff,
Steve.
man.
Steve, if you want some of those loans, you can give them to me too. It's fine.
And David, guys, David is making his way up as well. I want to shout out David too. He's been very proactive. He's giving value. You're working with David on a deal, right? And so, guys, I mean, we're in
Thank you all.
abundance mindset. We got a lot of leads coming in. We got a lot of opportunities. We're only going to continue to grow. We're only going to continue to sharpen our skills together, right? So even as we bring more loan officers on and stuff like that, it's just going to help us become even more of a powerhouse, right? So let's just keep pushing that.
And just keep in mind, guys, we're not perfect. We make mistakes. So the best thing is that, hey, one, for me, I'm okay with criticism. So don't be afraid to say, hey, can you do this or help us with this or whatever the case may be, because we want to improve as well. And we want to make sure you guys get a very good job from us.
Yeah.
No, it's a great point, Steve. I think, again, guys, you can always include me, on the chat with, any of the loan officers, and I will be backing them up as well. We do meet on a weekly basis as well. So again, any concerns, any way we can better service you guys, let us know. We'll go ahead and make some adjustments.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys, Q4 game plan. So we're coming to an end right now. This is what we're going to be focusing on for the next quarter. Some of it is going to be carryover from the last quarter, like things that are already working, where it's like, let's just keep that momentum going. And some of them are going to be a couple little things that we're adding. So production target. We've kind of reevaluated some of our goals. We did have a big lofty goal that we were trying to hit. Based off where we're at right now, we're going to have to readjust. So we readjusted the goal to 120 units. We have 74 closed and 22 in the pipeline right now between our active listings, our pendings and stuff like that. There's a chance a couple might fall out. It's just part of the game, right? So if in order to break 120 units, which would definitely put us above what we did last year and keep us on track to keep growing, we need to get 50 closed deals in the next quarter, which is definitely doable, being that we already have like 22 in the pipeline, right? So we would need to add more stuff, have stuff go through, have it close. Our target per agent, right? You guys all put your own number, but our minimum target per agent is if each agent can get 2 deals in contract in the next quarter, times how many agents that we have, we'll hit that number easily, right? So you guys have a target, right? Your own individual targets, but we have a minimum target for the whole team, right? So we kind of look at those 2 numbers. But of course, we're going to hold you guys accountable to your goal, right? If your goal is 5 deals or 6, like Mark, I think he said 6. I need a minimum of 2, but I'm pushing you to 6 because that 6, you have your own goals, you have your own income you want to do, right? So just keep in mind, just to differentiate your personal goal versus what we have set for the team. But I think it's very doable, guys. If everyone buckles up and everyone just gets 2 deals in contract, that should be a no-brainer in the next 3 months, right?
Especially, yeah, I think just looking at the opportunity we have, looking at the lead sources we have, the talent we have, the training we have, I think all those things come into play where that goal is definitely doable. And obviously the other stuff that we're rolling out is
and we have a handful of new agents coming on board, right? We're actively recruiting agents. You guys have seen some new faces. You guys are seeing people come on. We have a handful of agents that are on our roster right now that are going through onboarding and stuff like that. So as those agents start to ramp up and start to get deals, it's just going to all compound, right? So our goal is really to finish this year strong and come in with some strong momentum in 2026 so that 2026, we even push it even further, right? So what we're doing, guys, carry over from Q3. So we're going to keep the coaching the way it's going right now. We have 2 calls on Thursday, right? We break it up into 2 groups. How have you guys been liking that so far, right? You guys finding it helpful, right? Those of you guys that are in the tier 1 with Jason, right? I know he's holding you guys accountable. I know you guys are doing a lot of skill building, a lot of numbers. Is that working for you guys? Okay. Script training, all that stuff, right? So there's no reason, if that's working, we're not going to change that, right? I know with my group, it's a little bit smaller. It's only a handful of us. Those of you guys that are in my group, How have you guys been liking that? Yeah. John, how you been liking our group trainings on Thursday?
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I don't want to jump into tier one once in a while, just to, yeah.
That's fine too. If you want to,
We discussed that.
that's what we discussed. Like,
Yeah, I get some of the script stuff.
yeah,
You're making me have a mindset for business owner that I haven't had before.
yep, yeah, and that's the goal. The higher group. If you're in the higher group, that means you already passed the basics. You're doing the work. Now it's more strategy, and we're more focused on business owner strategy, right? How to move your business forward. So, as you guys start to progress, some of you guys in tier one are going to move up to my group to tier two, the 2 and 3. And then if some of you guys in my group want to go back and like have someone push you for your numbers and stuff like that, like jump in Jason. That's not a problem at all.
Recorded too, guys, but yeah, definitely. I mean, it's open. You know, we're trying to meet you guys where you're at. Like meet our agents where they're at. So some need the foundation, the fundamentals, and some already have that. So again, you know, but if you need a refresher on that, more than welcome to join us, guys.
Yeah, and the other thing, if you're not participating in any of the trainings consistently, you need to get on those trainings, right? I know we all got a lot of stuff going on. The trainings are open for our loan officers too, right? It's just going to help you, right? So there's no problem with our loan officers coming on there. Maybe if you haven't been as active on the trainings, like come on the trainings, guys. We're getting really good feedback. And it's all to help you, to push you, to hold you accountable, to help you hit your goals. It's only good that's going to come from it. So we're going to keep that. We're keeping our, when we're doing one-on-ones with some of you guys as well. We're going to keep those as well. We're going to continue to drive the 3 pillars, right? Agent generated, right? SOI, referrals, Zillow and online leads, and open houses. Those are the key things that we're going to continue to drive because they're working, right? I'd love to see more people participating in the open houses, to be honest, right? Sometimes when I put those out there, it is crickets a little bit, right? On the open houses. Yeah, so I know stuff comes up, right? But we have enough agents on the team and it's not like we have like thousands of open houses, right? The open houses should be filled each week. The last couple of weeks, I had to get outside agents from outside of our office, right? So just
yeah, and I think it's important to understand, guys. We have Zillow where you have to pay the partner 40%. But remember, these are open, even if it's Enrique's open house. I don't know if this is clear, but that is an SOI deal. You work that open house. If you work it, that becomes your SOI opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? So I really want you guys to understand that's immediately a pay raise.
Yep,
right?
Exactly. And if you don't want to work our open house, right, the one we have, find an open house to work.
Yeah.
Just work an open house. That's the whole main thing,
That
right?
brings up a good point, guys. If there's a neighborhood that you want to penetrate, if there's a neighborhood you want to be in, well, then that's an opportunity to get on that MLS, call some agents, see what properties are sitting, or see who needs help, so you can host that open house in that neighborhood.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely. With our listings, you have a question?
I was just also gonna say that sometimes when I go to open houses, they also have a lender,
Yeah.
information. about
Yeah.
the some clients that are like, still like in the process of wondering whether to buy or to wait.
Yeah, that's a great point, guys, is getting a lender there at the open houses. I know David had reached out, said he wants to start doing open houses as well. So if you guys aren't busy with clients already and you guys are on the lending team, definitely get out there and do some open houses. That's a great way. You can shoot content. You can pick up clients that way. Meet other real estate agents that are coming by, right? It's definitely a great way to get out there. So great idea. We're going to keep pushing that. Our listing strategy, guys, right? I think this is the main thing is when we're taking on listings, the 2 things that we talked about in the past that we just got to keep going is making sure we're pricing our listings to sell, right? We're not taking on these listings with these crazy high prices just to get the listing signed. And then now it's sitting on the market, right? You just got to be careful right now when you're taking on a listing, like be conservative in your approach, give clients worst case scenarios, make sure you're moving them forward. And the biggest thing is make sure you're keeping them up to date weekly because it is a moving target. Like my listing in Santa Cruz, I'm keeping her up to date every week because I already knew we had to do a price reduction, right? So I'm already forecasting that I'm going to have to reduce the price because she wanted to price it a little bit on the higher end of the spectrum. And I was like, okay, we'll do it this way. But in 3 weeks, if we don't have any offers, we're dropping the price, right? Okay, I'm fine with that. but I'm setting those expectations up front. I'm keeping her updated. Now, when it's time to drop the price, it's like, no problem, right? You're going to run into problems of trying to get the price dropped when you aren't having those conversations with your clients up front and you're not keeping them informed every week, right? Because you got to show them with proof, not just all of a sudden out of the blue, let's drop the price, right? And so those of you guys that are working listings, I just want to drive that home. If you're taking on listings, you have to be proactive because not all listings are just selling quickly. We're not in that market right now. We're going to continue to attract more agents, like I said, to PRG. And the other thing too is possibly if we need to, if agents aren't hitting the standards that we're laying out consistently, those are conversations we're going to have, right? Like we're really trying to sharpen this group up with productive agents and agents who are putting in effort. It's not just how many deals you're closing, it's are you putting in the work every week, right? I'm happy with keeping an agent who hasn't closed a deal, but every week their numbers are showing that they're hustling, right? That's okay because it's only going to be a matter of time. But if someone's not producing, no deals, and they're not showing the work, there's no calls, they're not coming to the meetings, then it's like, it's not a win-win relationship, right? Like, and so we're not doing anybody a service by just, kind of dancing around it and not having those tough conversations.
And that falls on Enrique and I, guys.
Yeah.
I think, the great thing is we're starting off this new quarter. And we have the standard set, right? I know we rolled it out last week, but now that we have the standard set, we can really see what your quarter is going to look like this next, the fourth quarter. So again, just make sure you understand what is expected from you by looking at that standard. Make sure you're going to the training, make sure you're making the calls, and just make sure you're checking those boxes so that not just for that standard, but for yourself, right? So that you can hit the goals anymore.
Yeah. And if you're going through something, guys, it's the other thing too. Like we realize people go through stuff, life happens. If you're going through anything and let us know, right? Because remember, we are business partners, right? There is an investment that we make into you guys every single month to keep you on our platforms, right? So if you're like, if we don't hear from you and we're investing into you, you tell me. If it was the other way around, what would you do, right? But if something's going on or you got a personal issue or something, you having some life is happening, that's totally fine. But you got to let us know so that we know what's going on, right? So I just want to say that, guys, in the kindest way, we got to keep our group tight. As we grow and as we add agents, we got to, maintain that culture of production, of standards, of people getting after it, because we want to see everybody win, right? That's the bottom line. Okay, a couple things we're adding, guys. So we just hired, as of today, they started today, they did training yesterday. We just hired 2 ISAs, right? These are 2 ISAs that are now going to be in Follow Up Boss, calling and booking appointments for agents, right? And we're investing in ISAs. In the past, if the ISA booked an appointment, there would be like a ding, you would get paid a little bit less on the appointment or anything, or on the deal. We're not going to roll that out. This is just strictly going to be an added benefit. But the catch here is you need to qualify to get those appointments, right? So those appointments aren't for everybody. It's going to be for the people who are producing. So if you're someone who is showing effort, you're attending trainings, you're making your calls, you're doing all that stuff, you know the presentations, you know how to do deals. When we get an ISA booked appointment, you're going to be one of the ones that's eligible to receive that, right? ISAs they have 2 duties. Call in our pond. We got about 25,000-ish leads in our pond, maybe 25 to 30,000 leads in our pond. There's a lot of leads in there that aren't assigned to anybody that are not being called. So their job is going to be call those leads and book appointments. When they book an appointment, it's getting assigned to the eligible agent, right? Their job is also to audit your leads, right? So the leads that are assigned to you guys, they're going to be going into your leads and seeing if you are calling your leads. For example, Blanca gets a new Zillow lead. The first 3 days, what should Blanca be doing with that lead? Calling, texting, trying to get a hold of them, whatever, right? There should be engagement, right? If after 3 days, like Blanca hasn't called, hasn't texted, hasn't updated the notes, hasn't done anything, what should happen with that lead? Huh? You lose the lead? Okay, yeah, I like that, right? What else? What should happen with that lead? Exactly, right? That's what should happen. But what we're going to do is our ISAs are now going to go in there and say, hey, Blanca, I noticed you haven't called this lead. I noticed you haven't followed up. Do you need help following up with this lead? Right? That's on day 4. If there's no response, on day 5, again, Blanca, second request. Do you need help following up with this lead? Right? Day 6, Blanca, third request. Do you need help following up with this lead? If not, if there's no response by the end of the day, this lead is being reassigned to somebody else. Right? Okay, so if someone's had the lead for a week, they haven't proactively called, texted, or emailed, and they got 3 warnings from an ISA that's offering to help you call that lead, should that lead now be taken away? You guys all agree? All right, we're not being too harsh. All right, perfect. I'm talking to the right group.
Yeah, I think, guys.
I think after a few days.
Okay, yeah.
We'll make some, we gotta ease into it, guys, ease into it, right? And I want us to understand that this ISA is not, it's not a punishment. It's a tool for our agents.
Yeah.
It's truly a tool to keep you accountable. And maybe you need that reminder because someone like Blanca, she may be showing property. She may be on listing appointments. So we don't want anyone to be penalized. We want you guys to understand that we're building a tool to support you so that you guys can have success, right? And so, but it does take, what it does take from our agents is for you guys to do everything through follow-up on. Because our ISAs, Enrique and myself, we're not mind readers. If you put it somewhere else, make it from your cell phone, we won't see it. So that's the only ask, one of the asks we have is that you guys put everything in follow-up. If it's not in follow-up, we're gonna act as if it didn't happen. Because what we've seen in the past, guys, leads have been moved, and then someone called me, Jason, I was calling that lead. Well, I don't see any notes.
I don't see a call. I don't see anything.
So again, I want us to understand, it's not a punishment, guys. It's a tool. You guys got to be able to use this tool.
Yeah.
Right.
We got to protect the asset, guy, right? Our asset is all the leads that we have coming in. Those are our assets. We have to protect the assets. So we're giving you guys an opportunity to make $10, $20, $30,000 on a deal, and you're not calling it. And we're giving you multiple chances, and we're seeing, and there's even someone that can call it for you, but you're still not responding. Sorry, guys, right? No more. We can't just, dance around it. We got to pull that lead, right? Question?
Yeah, so, I mean, I think the other thing is, if people are having problem with knowing how to use the follow-up boss to call the lead or track the lead or keep in touch, speak up. Let us,
Yep.
I'm sure they'll definitely want to help you.
Yeah,
guide you through it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that, I think, because sometimes, like for me, if I see something and I don't know how to do it, I don't speak up.
Yeah.
And if I don't know if anyone else is like that, but if you are, then this is the time where get some help, learn how to really utilize follow-up, because sometimes it can be complicated. It is a CRM that we're trying to get used to. You're used to calling from your phone. You're used to texting from your phone. It's a different process when you're using follow-up.
Yeah.
If you want to track your numbers, if you want to be on top of your numbers and know exactly how many calls you're making, whatever the case may be, you have to go through follow-up. And you can put the app on your phone. You can call through there. You can do everything through there, but you got to learn how to do it.
Absolutely, guys. And so it's not a punishment. This is actually an enhancement, right?
Yeah.
And so they're going to be calling everybody's leads. They're going to be auditing your leads. They're going to be reminding you to call. They're going to be asking for, you to respond. Now, if they message Blanca, I know you haven't called this lead. Do you need help? Blanca's like, yes, please help me. They're calling. And if they book the appointment, they assign it to Blanca, right? So it's now like she has her own salesperson helping her, right? But if there's a consistent, no response, all your leads are not being called, that's where we're going to have an issue. They're going to bring that to us, and we got to figure something out, right? And so I think this is actually going to move our business forward, where it's going to create a lot of opportunity for those of you that are qualified, and those of you guys that are not yet qualified, get qualified, right? Learn the systems, learn the process, show up to training, learn the buyer presentation, learn how to show a home. How many of us all want to be in a position where appointments are just being set for us all day, right? On top of all the other stuff that we could do on our own. Yeah, absolutely. That's how you're going to increase your deal flow. So I'm excited about this, guys. They're already calling today. So you guys may see some messages coming today. Just respond in follow-up boss. Everything's going to be in follow-up boss. And then there'll be a Slack channel for appointments. It's a private channel, so only eligible agents, we're going to determine that, will be in that channel to claim appointments. So they'll say buyer consultation next Friday at this time, looking in Milpitas, approved, who's available to take this appointment.
And that's for our lenders as well.
And for the lenders as well, right? But you got to get eligible to be one to receive those, right? And so this will be something that we continue to scale. Agent performance standards, we've already went through those before, so I'm not going to repeat those, right? It's like the how many calls and stuff like that. We're going to continue just to remind you guys of those and hold people accountable. We already talked about every agent needs to shoot for at least 2 or more deals or more, if that's your goal is more. We're going to still do call sessions, guys, here on Tuesdays, right? I know a lot of you guys are calling on your own, but get here on Tuesdays. Like, we're here calling, even if it's 1 day a week where you're here actively calling with the team. Like, get in here, right? There's people in here. Luis is here every day, right? Some of us are here making calls, so we're going to continue to do that. I know we're over time, guys, so I'm kind of rushed this. 2 events coming up, guys. Family photo event. That's going to be on the 8th, which is November 8th, which is a Saturday. I just want to remind everybody, that's the big event for this quarter, right? For the family photo event. And then we are going to plan some sort of fall team outing with the team. We're going to still figure out where we're going to do it, but we're going to do something as a group where we can all go hang out and spend some time together as well. So look out for that coming up. And then last thing, guys, just bottom line, you already got deals in the pipeline. If everybody adds 2 new closings each, we'll hit 50 plus deals as a team for this quarter. We'll finish 25 strong and we'll roll into 2026, guys, with some momentum. Anything else?
No, I think just remember that the efforts we put in right now carry to 26, right? So it's really, really important that, I know the holidays, Enrique talks a lot about this, that there's certain days that, we're going to definitely spend time with family, but make sure you kind of plan that out and that your business does not stop running during this next quarter, because you want to have momentum in 26. If not, you're going to have a bad Valentine's Day. Nobody wants to have a bad Valentine's Day, right? So make sure you guys are pushing. It's important that we push during this time, guys. And the great thing is, we've had some great 4th quarters, guys. We've had some really great 4th quarters. And for some reason, the mindset of real estate agents is that they take, like December, they take time off. That's not the culture that we have here, right? We push. Our loan officers will be working. I will be working during this next quarter. So again, guys, that's one of my big takeaways. And the other thing is, before we let you guys go, if you see what Enrique did, he illustrated to you guys what our team goals were. Understand that, or what we're going to be working on in the 4th quarter. I highly recommend that you sit with yourself, take some inventory, and figure out what are the 2 things you're going to work on. Right? Enrique said a skill and an activity. So really figure that what that looks like for you. We're doing that as a company. I highly recommend you guys do that as well. And then lastly, let's take a team photo.
Yeah. So guys at home, guys, we're all done at home. Thank you guys for coming today. We will see you soon. And those of you guys here, let's clap it up, guys. Thank you guys.
All right.
So we're going to get a team selfie.